Creepypasta or horror-related legends that have been shared around the internet is known for taking something from popular media like Mickey Mouse, SpongeBob, it could even take from video games, and twist it to become morbid horror stories spread on the internet. Obviously, it's all fiction, but my dumbass younger self couldn't believe what I was exposed to. So I'm going to rank every creepypasta that scared the shit out of me as a kid. I'm going to start with 5 that I was introduced to as a kid, and ranking them based on a tier list. Suicidemouse.avi is a 6-minute clip of Mickey Mouse walking in an endless loop with piano music playing in the background. The video was uploaded in 2009 on YouTube. Halfway through the video cuts to black. A few minutes goes by and the screen reappears again, this time with no music. Suddenly we hear a cry. From a cry grows into a blood-curdling scream, with the background becoming more disfigured and spinning. Finally, the video ends with Mickey's face and a Russian text appears. When translated, it says, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." Supposedly, when a security guard watched it, he took his own life, which caused Disney to lock it in the vault, never to be seen again. So, where does this fall? Personally, this being my first ever creepypasta I ever saw as a kid. I think it was like in 5th grade when I stumbled upon this. Bro, I thought this shit was real, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, being my first ever creepypasta, that's when I kind of fell down the rabbit hole. So, I'll give this a nice A. That's a nice A. That's a classic. Nowadays, I just look at it and be like, oh, okay. But back then, bro, this shit got me. This shit real got me. Anyways, on to the next, which is Barbie.avi is a story about a man who recovered a computer from a dumpster for his friend, but before giving it to his friend, he decides to boot up the computer. From the looks of it, it seems the computer was wiped clean, no files or anything, until he noticed a file. Inside the file was an ABI, simply called Barbie. The video was an hour long of a woman who is being interviewed. The audio is extremely muffled and I can't exactly make out what she's saying. As the video continues, the woman starts looking more uncomfortable and she begins to cry. And the last thing the video shows is a train line that the man recognizes and heads there. He arrives to see an abandoned home. He enters and notices that the home is sort of lived in, as if someone was living here. But before he noticed, he heard a moan, which causes him to dash out the house, never to come back again. Damn. So where does this fall in? I'll give it a B. It was a nice little tale. Personally, I don't think like the video of the supposed woman was that scary, but the story was pretty good. It gave me like a nice little fright, but I haven't feel like scared like the Suicide Mouse one. But I'll give it a B. It's a nice story. Up next, we have Ben Drown is a gaming creepypasta centered around the game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. It was created by Alexander Hall. He uploaded a series of videos in 2010 under his YouTube channel named Juduceable. In those series of videos is gameplay of Majora's Mask with bizarre clips of the game, like being glitched. Certain songs being played backwards. NPCs missing. All the while, a name Ben is being shown to us over and over again. Apparently, a boy named Ben drowned and now haunts the game and terrorizes the player and eventually escapes. So where does this one go? I'll give it a scary. I believe this shit. One for 2 reasons. One, because Majora's Mask is already scary enough as a game. So when I heard about this story, this actually scared the shit out of me. Like I look back on the clips now and all I see is like someone just messing around with the game. But back then, bro, I thought the shit was real. Because Majora's Mask is a scary game itself. And apparently the story of like Ben John is still going on. Well, it finished like I think a few years ago. I try to like keep up with it. Honestly, I'm confused, bro. But looking back at those beginning videos of Ben John, those got me, bro. Those really got me. This story is about a writer who visits a couple in Chicago for an interview. As the writer arrived, the wife who agreed to do the interview changed her mind and doesn't want to do it, so much so that she locked herself in the bathroom. About an hour passed by and she agrees to do it, but she doesn't want to see the writer. The more she goes on, the more she cries. She mentions something that happened to her back in 1992. She worked on computers when all of a sudden a JPEG appeared called Smile.jpg. She opened the JPEG. After that, she claimed that her life was changed forever. What she saw was an image of a Siberian husky illuminating of a flash from the camera, sitting in a dim room, and a hand appearing in the background of the photo. After that, she had nightmares about the dog, the same dog from the picture, claiming that to spread the word or else something bad happens to her. A year passed since the interview and the wife killed herself when all of a sudden, the writer received an email from the same wife that killed herself with a text that says, "Just simply spreading the word," with a file attached that says Smile.jpg. So where does this one go? I'll give it an A. Nice A. Personally, I don't think the picture ever scared me. I think just the story more or less. But if one scared me and the one doesn't, I'll give it an A. It's a nice A. It's a classic. I'll give you that one. One of the most like earliest creepypastas, I believe. So yeah, it deserves a spot on an A for me personally. I mean, if we ranking it now, I'll give it about like a not scary. But like back then as a kid, I'll give it an A. It's a classic. Abandoned by Disney was made in 2012 and it follows a narrator visiting an abandoned park made by Disney known as Treasure Island Resort. Once he arrived, he realized just how abandoned it was, so one thing he noticed the most was a sign that was handprinted. It says, "Abandoned by Disney." A while later, he starts taking pics of the park and noticed that nature has reclaimed the park. A few minutes has gone by and again he sees a phrase, "Abandoned by Disney," this time spray painted. A little while has gone by and found a sign that sparked his interest, "Mascots only." Curious, he went down thinking he could take something as a souvenir. He starts looking at the mascots, even took some pictures until he saw a door that says Character Prep 1. Curious, once again, he decides to open it. Once inside, the room was dark. Lights suddenly turned on. The narrator saw characters, costumes all over the wall. One bizarre thing that stand out in the center of the room was a Mickey Mouse costume that was photo negative. Ignored it, he went towards the Donald Duck and decided to pick it up. That's when it happened. A human skull came out and smashed into pieces. The narrator, in shock and disbelief, decided to take a picture when the photo negative Mickey stood up, looking at the narrator. The narrator, shook by fear, didn't move. The photo negative Mickey only said, "Hey, you want to see my head come off?" The narrator dashes away from the room. As he's running, he sees a message that looks to be clawed with bones and fingernails, "Abandoned by God." Ooh, spooky. So where does this one go? Bro, this really got me as a kid, bro. I'll give it a scary, bro. This really got me as a kid, bro. Like, I think, like, because, like, I don't know. It's just, like, the idea of taking something so child innocent and friendly and, like, making it into, like, a, I don't know, like, something, like, out of horror movies. I like that shit, bro. And that shit got me as a kid. I'll give that an A. Yeah. So that's about my tier list. Hopefully you guys like it. I've been getting crazy support for my videos lately, and I'd like to say thank you. I mean, thank you for the people that subscribe to me, that watch my content with me and my friends, or just me by myself. I appreciate that a lot. Hopefully you guys like this. I might upload this, after New Year's. Well, I'll see how it goes. But thanks. Peace.